Okay, I've done one of these before, not so long ago. I'm just wondering if this one's going to be better. Like I say, I've pretty well almost all my demos. Let's see what we've got once we've set this silly thing up. Gonna leave it on 100. Okay, this will be an interesting one. Let's see what it is. It is a fan. Not a fan that you switch on to cool off. One of these old-fashioned thingies I'm going to try and open with one hand. No, I'll use both hands. I'll just use the camera hand, stuff it. I'm having trouble opening this silly thing. It was opening fine earlier on. Now I can't seem to get the fucker open. Oh, I'm doing it the wrong way, folks. There you have it. Sorry about the hoopla. That just went down. So that's our fan, right? We're interested in that. And there's a nice looking lady in the middle of it. So this is not an easy thing. This was not easy, even though it should have been easier than what I did. But basically, yeah, it's a fan. A traditional fan at that. These would have been around long before electric fans. Although they had punkawallas, people who operate a fan system in some place, and the slave that operates the fan is called a punkawalla. And the fan itself is called a punk, and it's called a punkawalla. Punkawalla is the fan operator. I learned this from my dad when I was a kid, because my dad used to, it's funny, he used to call me and my brother, I used to get called punkawalla, and my brother was called punk, like the fan. But basically, yeah, wondering how big we're going to make this. But basically, yeah, punk and a punkawalla, if I remember correctly. I don't know why he made those names up, or used those words to describe us. Dad is an idiot, but he's a strange sort of a dude. Anyway, that looks really quite nice. I think we're going to enlarge it a bit on the horizontal a bit more, maybe vertical. We'll see how we go. Punk and punkawalla. Funny that. I don't know what country the words punk and punkawalla come from, but yeah, that was in the days of slaves for the white people. And yeah, that's what they had before electric fans. They had slaves doing the fan operating for the white elite. It's really gross the way there was just so much elitism. But it still exists, folks. Most of our modern day products, including electronics, get manufactured by slave labour. It may not be slave labour as in no money like the old slaves, but they just get underpaid and they get worked really hard and we still use it, so it's still slavery, folks. Even this phone I use, I'm sure was created by slaves, even though I can't prove it at this stage. But I know that Apple hire slaves to do their work. There's a company called Foxconn that was contracted to make Apple iPhones. And basically, yes, some of these slaves wanted to kill themselves because they were being treated like shit, being worked hard and underpaid, and they ended up, some of them allegedly committed suicide. So, it happens now. Sure, we don't have the kind of slavery we have, like in-house servants and shit, but in the industrial world, it's still there. Even though we don't all know about it. Made in China is basically, you could say, is made by slaves. And this photocopier is another example. Made in China, made in Vietnam, as well as made in Japan. And even Japan, in Japan they work their employees really hard. Not just the photocopier industry, just industry in general, or business in general. And these people get worked, they don't get enough sleep, they clock in heaps of overtime, and some of them even die of overwork. So yeah, that's not good, folks. So made in China, made in Vietnam, and made in Japan equals bad news. Anyway, that looks interesting. I think now we can call this demo quits.